Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Who's to blame, Moyes or Sullivan? And I found just the man to talk about it with. You don't know who he is. That is Sam. He's the Bowling Boys podcast. Sam, how you doing?
Yes, not so much a podcast anymore. Just rant on Twitter instead. But
I know, mate.
yeah,
I know.
certainly all
Oh,
good, all
and on
good.
Talk Sport, I've got him from Talk Sport to E20. What a
Yeah.
move! Do you know what I'm saying? Sam, what's going on, mate? At West Ham, talk to me.
Oh, geez, it's fucking hard work, mate. It's like this whole thing that's come about, like a lot of tweets and that lately, especially like off the page and whatever,
Yeah,
is is talking about Sullivan and Moyes. But like the thing I'm trying to get, like everyone's going, we know Sullivan's a cunt, we know Sullivan's a cunt, rah rah rah. Well, that's what you need to direct your like. Moyes has done all he's done in spite of Sullivan and the ball. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's done it all. And it's for me, it's like a better the devil you know situation. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Because what's the point in getting fucking rid of Moyes, who's gone and done all this? And I'll say done all this, like a seventh finish, sixth finish, one assist trophy. What's the point in going to get rid of him just for the next guy? Yeah, he might play pretty football for the next 6 months to a year, just for Sullivan to get involved again. He's been here for
mm,
13 years. He
mm,
doesn't change. It's been the same shit over and over and over again. So, like the geezer earlier going on about, oh, Gold's going through probate. We ain't going to see him out for another year or whatever. Well, leave Moyes in charge for another year then. What's the point in Sullivan bringing in another manager just
mm.
for a year's time if he does fuck off? For the other geezers to then get sacked. And the new owner bring like it is draining and people are going on. It's what I was going on about Talk Sport. People need to remember where we've come from.
Mm.
Right now, the equivalent to what David Moyes has done to this club is taking Everton right now, and then in the next 3 years, we'll be here again in 3 years, and Everton have finished seventh, finished sixth, and they've
Yeah.
won a try. Like, can you imagine Everton doing that right now?
I know, so I'm just letting you right. I'm just letting you cook, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm just
But
letting you
can
go.
you imagine?
Yeah,
I'm asking you, can you imagine? Can anyone, if people are
mm,
watching it, can anyone imagine
yeah,
Everton finishing sixth this season, then seventh, then going on to win a trophy next? Can anyone see Sean Dyche
no,
and Everton doing that? No, they
no.
fucking can't. So remember where we fucking came from.
One
Oh,
thing I'm
it's,
going to say though, one thing I'm going to say, Sam, yeah, and I done a little poll earlier on. Listen, I respect everyone's opinion. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't like some of their opinions, but I respect them to a point.
yeah, of
But
course. Yeah.
the thing I can't have is when people are going in and dropping in, i.e., sort of Sullivan Moyes, and these people want to chuck Moyes out the door. Yeah, and I don't like Moyes. I'll be real. I don't like Moyes. Yeah, I don't like the way he sort of plays football, but that's my opinion. Yeah, but Sullivan's done fucking a hell of a lot worse than fucking Moyes has done in 13 years. He's took us out of our fucking
If
home.
you that if yeah, if what like what has David Moyes done?
Do you know what I
David
mean?
Moyes has given us 3 years of European football, finished seventh and sixth, won us a trophy. Like,
Yeah,
listen, you know me, James. I'm pretty much like you with
yeah,
when it comes to David Moyes. I'm not his biggest fan at all. Even when we were winning, I know we've
yeah.
been shit for about 18 months now, but even when we was winning, he still pissed me off. He
Mm,
still found a way to frustrate me. So I'm not one of these who's been like, oh yeah, he played great football, and now all of a sudden we're playing shit. He has always frustrated me, but you can't argue the fucking
yeah.
job he's done. It's as simple as that. And then people go, oh, just get rid of him then. Get rid of him, replace him with who? Graham Potter. Yeah, like I said earlier, we'll play decent tippy tappy football for a few months before Sullivan starts getting himself involved again.
Mm,
What I will say about Sullivan, it can be like salvaged to a certain extent because he's brought in this team. I can't pronounce his name.
Stiden, Stiden.
Stylen.
Yeah,
He's brought him in. So if the club want to now go in a different direction,
right.
then I think that the model that we kind of have in place, but we don't have in place, is the right way to go. So the foreign clubs are doing it for years, and I think the English have just sort of clocked onto it. So now Stylen's come in. He's going to be this. He was technical director, director of football, whatever he's called.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, he's going to be like key in making big decisions at the club. So, for instance, say fast forward 3 years, we've now got this set up in place. if you wanted to sack a David Moyes, Steidham would probably already be working on his next target. He'll already be working on who he wants next. So no matter who you, at the minute, because the club's a mess, you've got David Moyes who wants to bring in his targets, and then you've got Steidham and Sullivan and that who want to bring in a load of other targets who don't match the football that Moyes plays. So if you fast forward in 4 years and this setup is here and it's running properly, if the club wanted to sack Moyes, then it wouldn't matter about the players that are already there and the players that would be coming in, because Steidham would already like the team and the squad would already be moulded to play a certain way.
There'd be a direction, Sam, won't there? Like you'd be going in one direction. Do you know what I'm saying?
So the club.
Do you know what I'm saying? I listen. I hear what you're saying, right? And I don't like Moyes. Yeah, I don't want Moyes at West Ham. That's my opinion. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not a fan of Moyes. Yeah, Moyes ball. I'm just not on it. But when I see it today, that people are going like, I'll give him a choice. I said you got David Sullivan or Moyes, and people get going Moyes. And I'm thinking Sullivan's done fucking a lot more damage to West Ham than Moyes has ever done, right? Or ever likely to do. Do you know what I'm saying? And to go in on Moyes, and listen, maybe people will say I'm a bit fickle or something, yeah? But I'm going to be fucking real. Listen, I don't want Moyes here, but Sullivan's done fucking lot more. A hell of a lot more. Like, we've lost transfers. Like, the Upton Park to fucking Stratford move has been a slight mess. Like, we've gone from our own spiritual home to a rented fucking accommodation. Like, I'm not being funny. When people have got their agendas with Moyes, yeah, and everyone each to their own, right? Some people's agendas on Moyes are a lot more stronger than others. My one, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. He's here. If I've got to put up with him, I've got to put up with it. I don't like it, and I would rather see someone else here, and I'd want him to go. But I'm not. But I've always said the problem is at the top of the fucking mountain, and the top of the mountain is David Sullivan. Like at the end of the day, do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the problem, because with Moyes right now, I'm not particularly his biggest fan. If he wouldn't have got sacked tomorrow,
yeah,
I would be like sat here crying my eyes out because he's got sacked. Like we can go in a different direction with getting rid of Moyes, and that wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
What bothers me is like you just hit the nail on the head. It starts from the top, and what's the point in sacking Moyes tomorrow? Just to then go through all this again.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, the new guy, who are you going to fucking turn to? Someone like David Moyes. Do you know what I mean? It's just mad, and then people will realise once he's gone, David Moyes. Same with Declan Rice as well. Yeah. Once he retires and once David Moyes is a few years out of the picture, people under this lot, by the way, people will finally realise what Moyes has actually given this football club.
I hear you, Sam. I do, mate. WestHamOnline, welcome. You wanted to come on. What you're saying?
I'm saying David Moyes is club saviour. When he rejoined the club a few years ago, we were in absolute trouble, way more trouble than we are right now.
Right.
We were only going in one direction. Every signing we were making was flopping. We signed Anderson, we signed Yarmolenko, we signed Issa Diop. Every signing Manuel Pellegrini and Mario Huselos at the time made flopped. David Sullivan bought Pellegrini in after sacking Moyes, and let's be honest, Moyes saved Sullivan because he had to sack Pellegrini and realise his mistake. He didn't know where to turn because Sullivan hasn't got a clue about football. So he just turned to Moyes and hoped for the best. Moyes is the one that's delivered us Europe on 3 occasions, so he's earned the right to have money to spend. Moyes is the one who's inflated Rice's price tag as a result. Moyes has made Sullivan money. So I think Sullivan should be a bit more respectful of what Moyes wants, and I think our fans should be a bit more respectful of what Moyes has done.
But the only thing I will say, Alf, one thing I will say, and I know you're a part of this with all us boys, is that the love for Moyes sometimes does go a bit over the fucking top when like no one will sort of look at his flaws, so to speak. They will.
Mr. Moyes, last season we weren't good to watch. Let's get that out there because I am very objective, but I love Moyes, so it doesn't come across like that. We were terrible to watch. There were certain games in which I wanted to leave the stadium. Leicester at home, when we lost 2-0, we were awful to watch. Palace at home, I'd say, was even worse. It was one of the worst games I've ever watched. Don't get me wrong. At times we can be ugly to watch, but let's not pretend that with previous managers we haven't been worse than just ugly to watch. We've been ugly to watch, horrendous defensively, and terrible against. Like now, at least people go on about the Conference League. Yes, we beat easier opposition, but let's not forget what we were like with easier opposition with our past managers. Pellegrini, we lost to Oxford 4-0, Wimbledon 4-2. Bilic couldn't even beat Astragugu. Moyes has made it look easy. I know it should be. We're a Premier League side, and we should be beating these teams as West Ham United, but previous managers haven't done that. Yet Moyes doesn't get the respect when he does it.
What do you make of that,
It's
Sam?
similar. Sorry, it's similar, ain't it? I think to the Gareth Southgate situation at England.
Yeah,
It completely mirrors the situation. Like people were going on about England and all that. Like we finally go and beat these teams 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we beat one of them 10-0 or something a few months ago.
Yeah, it was
It
something
was,
like that.
too easy, too easy. Fucking hell, when we were beating them 2s and 3s, he was all moaning that we were shit. So
Yeah.
what way do you want it? Like off West Ham on, I don't know what your name is, but it's the first time I spoke to you properly and heard you talk like that. On Twitter you come across a bit different, but you was quite I thought you was quite well balanced there.
I know.
He was quite well balanced there, and I can appreciate what he's saying now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Moyes' biggest fan, but he 100% he needs to be respected more by this fan base. Like fucking hell, like Sullivan is the poison in all this, and it's as simple as that. And you can't just you won't just get rid of Moyes and things are going to be great.
See, the thing is,
yeah. Really a point. He'd probably bring in someone like Chris Hughton.
I know, but
earlier today he's going on. Oh yeah, starting and he'll bring in Xabi Alonso and all that. Who the fuck trust David Sullivan to start working with Tim Snyder and then go and appoint Xabi Alonso?
Yeah, it won't happen. It won't happen under Sullivan. No, not a chance. Well, I don't know why, but I don't know whether it's me, but people got short memories of what fucking Sullivan actually has done to West Ham. Like, he's the one who loses transfers. He's the one who lowballs in the transfer market on signings that he just doesn't want. He's the one who puts in, like, reportedly phantom bids. Like, I'm not being funny enough, I think, yeah? Listen, whether you like Moyes or not, and the football is shit at times, don't get me wrong. Sullivan's more the fucking problem, because, like, if Sullivan really cared about ambition, then Moyes wouldn't have been here. Like, let's be honest, Moyes would have been sacked, right, after the final, and we would have gone into another direction or something. Do you know what I'm saying? But something you said last night, Sam, yeah, which I made you 100% right on TalkSport, yeah, and I thought fucking was brilliant. You either back him or you sack him, right? And that is on Sullivan at the end of the day, right? Do you know what I'm saying? You either back the man and say fucking that is the man that we're going to back, right? And or you just sack him and move into another direction. WestHamOnline.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
Alf, what are you saying? Like, Sam went on TalkSport last night and said that. What do you make of that?
Can you repeat it, sorry?
Sack him or back him?
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying that on this channel for a while. You can't have a manager in 1 year with 1 year left on his contract because it's just a complete nightmare. That's probably the reason why Sullivan's not backing him, because he's only got a year. So you either get rid of him now or you actually give him a contract, because you can't blame Moyes for wanting proven players, because at the end of the day, he knows he's not got long left to prove himself. If Sullivan gives him a contract, he might actually care a bit more about the future of the club and building a bit more long term. But whilst he's got 1 year left on his deal, he's not going to do that, is he?
I don't even think you have to turn around and give him 3-4 years. Even if you just went to him like, look, we're going to back you again now. There's a few quid in the pot and whatever. We all know there is. And he extended it by another year. At least send like, and even players coming in, like fucking hell. You're going to go and spend. I don't mind them spending whatever money, by the way. If Moyes, this is another problem I've got. So I'm going off a bit topic here. But who is actually our number one target to replace Declan Rice?
Good question.
We've got, you know what I mean? We've got people going about, oh yeah, we want him. He's too old. He's this. He's that. But if Jay McTominay, for instance, if he was Moyes' number one target, who gives a fuck if we spent £70 million on him? Who cares? Who cares? It's fucking no one's money. Moyes is listed him is his number one target to replace Declan Rice. Go fucking spend the money. That drives me up the wall as well. And with Moyes and the players coming in, if they know he's only there for 1 more year, why are they going to come to the club? Because then, like, again, playing this Moyes style of football, but then in a year's time, we go and hire Graham Potter. Someone like, I don't know, McTominay, he might not be in a Graham Potter's plan. So then you've gone and spent 50. This is where. Do you know what I mean? I'm half going back on my argument there because I'm saying this is where you've wasted 50 mil. But but this is David Sullivan and the board's fault. Because the club right now, as we see it, has zero direction. No one has a fucking clue who they want, where they want to go. And that's why it's either back Moyes or so. I would personally, he's done enough for me to be backed. He grew to a certain extent, Declan Rice. Declan Rice develops majority under Moyes. He's earned that 100 mil. Let him go and fucking spend it, whichever way he wants to. And then we can get on and start moving on, and then we can start looking forward to the season. But then it's just a fucking mess. Like, is it? I don't know where to. It is. It is one big mess, and I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
So like now, I want to start talking about why we ain't got, like, people go, be patient, be calm, wait, we'll get him in. The season starts in 11 days, 10 days. We haven't got a captain. We've got no new signings. The team, as it stands, is weaker than what it was a year ago. Well, 2 months ago.
Agree.
The team is it's weaker, but the club's richer. How does that fucking work?
I just see that. You saying that, yeah, I'll bring something up right now. Earlier on, I was on Twitter, someone messaged me and said to me, oh, don't worry about it now, the window don't shut till the 1st of September. What does that matter? Like, because what it is, I've said this before and I'll say it again, right? Whoever we do sign, they've got to learn Moyes' style of play. Whether I like Moyes' style of play is irrelevant. These players have got to learn it, right? So you sign a man this week, is he ready to fucking play against Bournemouth? Probably not. Probably a substitute at best. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just lack of organisation. It's lack of direction, organisation. The Steidon thing does baffle me because that feels like a Kadinsky appointment. Lucas said it the other day. Yeah, I'll make him 100% right because that is not a David Sullivan fucking appointment. I know that for certain. Do you know what I mean? He's not gone out to fucking Germany and picked Steidon. That's Kadinsky for me. And I don't know. I'm a bit lost with West Ham at the minute. Right, the season starts in fucking 10 days. Is anyone excited? Really? Fucking not a chance.
I'll be honest. I'm excited for the football to be back.
I'm excited for the football to be back, but I'm not excited to see West Ham.
I just fucking. You know what I mean? I just want to get going again and things like that, and I miss it and all that. But it's right though, isn't it? Like what you just said. I said it again earlier. Like, we've got James. Even if James or Browse walk through the door tomorrow, Moyes ain't going to start him against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And then again, you're already behind all the other teams. Like, I know things can happen late on in the window. But Arsenal, prime example. When you've got the best teams, you try to copy the best teams. That's why they're the best. You know what I mean? They're the best for a reason. So you try to copy them. So you look at Arsenal now, that they're on a really good wavelength, aren't they? They had their target. Number one target was Declan Rice. Fine, they fucked about with the bids and all that. Don't worry about that. They went and eventually got him. We all knew he was their number one target. They went and fucking got him. Same with fucking Man U, Mason Mount, Banana. Like, these were their number one targets, and they went and fucking. I'm not comparing us to them, like, on that level. But in terms of the way the club is run, we should have. I can't believe we've not got a number one target to replace Declan Rice.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you on that because let's be honest, we've all known that Deck was going for the last 6 months. Right, if you want to go a bit longer and say,
as he finished that Euros, we all knew it was too good for us. Yeah. 2 years it's been.
Right, but if you're going to be honest, if you say last year, we've all known that he was going to be out the door at the back end of the year, right? And the thing is, if you look at the sort of transfer targets that we're going for, no one fucking really knows who we're actually in for and who we're generally going to try and get. Like, 1 minute it's Ward-Prowse, 1 minute it's Gallagher, next thing is McTominay, fucking Alonso, Alvarez and fucking all sorts of all these people for Fana, and no one has got any idea. Do you know what I'm saying? It is a shame. It is a shame. But what irritates me the most, and this is what fucking drives me mad with some people, is this is West Ham's best moment. Best moment. Right? We just won a trophy. We should be springboarding onto the next level to go up and go, you know what? We should be looking to try and win the Europa League. Fucking we'll be lucky to get out the fucking group at this stage. You know what I mean? If we don't sign players. Online. What do you make of everything? Obviously, you see Fofana earlier. Your opinion's changed. I know that for the WhatsApp group, but talk to me.
Yeah, I watched the game earlier, Arsenal against AS Monaco. I thought Nketiah was incredible, but Fofana really impressed in the middle. I thought he was outstanding, to be honest. He has played for France before, and to be honest, I thought on Twitter people were going a bit over the top on him, and I still do think they were. There's no way people are sitting there watching Ligue 1 games on a Saturday, watching AS Monaco. It's just not happening. But I will admit, I watched him today. He does look very good. I think he got man of the match in the end. His stats look very good. I've got his stats here. If you fancy me reading them out quick,
read them out, mate. Me and Sam would love to hear it. We're a player that we're not going to fucking sign, but go on, read them out.
I'm about to go to drive to the Emirates now and lock him in the cab.
Read them out.
He played 90 minutes, 64 touches. His pass accuracy was actually quite poor. It was 74%. One key pass, 2 dribbles, 8 out of 10 ground duels, 1, made 4 tackles, 2 shots on target, a goal, and he scored his penalty in the shootout. But I won't lie, I think them stats are even slightly, what's the word? They aren't reflective of how well he played. I thought he was probably the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, mate. I see quite a bit of that match before I'll come off, and I'll be honest. I think West Ham are fucking mad for not going after this geezer. Absolutely mental. Like, he runs showing it in midfield, and I'm going to be honest. Like, we sold Declan Rice for 100 million. This geezer's like bossing it in the midfield. Like, I mean, like, his passing was good. His power, he's strong. He's fucking brilliant. Really, really good player. Sam, obviously, all the foul transfers. Obviously, Borges has gone to Ajax. Talk to me, mate, about that one, because we all thought he was coming. And next thing you know, he's on the fucking ferry to fucking Amsterdam.
Well, you might not think so, like, judging through Twitter, but I've genuinely tried to fucking really not get involved with the transfers and that this summer, because like, you just know what it's just ag, ain't it, on Twitter, like the transfer season, all that.
Yeah,
it's silly season. I don't know if every other club's like it, or if it's just us lot. Like, obviously, we're in the West Ham bubble, aren't we? So we obviously only get fed West Ham stuff. But I'll be amazed to know if all the other clubs are like it. But I tried not to, not get caught up too much in it. But then, as like the season's approaching, it's got to a point like, oh, come on, like, you know that like meme with a pokey stick, like, come on, do something. It's like literally getting to. Because now it's getting to a point. Are we actually going to sign anyone before the season's kicked off? And I just can't get it around my head. But the old Borges thing, like, it epitomises what we are right now. We're just a fucking mess. That's exactly what. I mean, even Darmish. Darmish on fucking. He said it was basically a done deal, and we still manage to fuck it up. And I don't know what people are saying. Well, Moyes didn't want him now, so it was a starting target. So again, it's just it ain't. I'm not bothered that he hasn't signed, because I've never fucking seen him play. He's never played Premier League minute. So I don't know too much. I don't know how he's going to fare in the league, and that if he was to, and then good luck to him at Ajax. Like, but it's just like, how can we go from near enough having the deal done to it getting hijacked last minute? And again, it comes down to agent fees. It's like David Sullivan is in this world of football, clearly, as the chairman of our club, but he actually doesn't know what's going on around him. It's like he's still stuck in the 90s or something. No, I'm not going to play that. But then when it comes to West Ham, and fair play, West Ham are his priority. Well, so you'd think, or more like his pockets. But look at the way he acted with Arsenal, and then every single transfer. Although, to be fair, a couple of our offers have been decent. Like, the one for McTominay was fair. I thought the one for Gallagher was fair. But Maguire and Ward, like, going in with these 20 mil offers, like, come on, like, it's just that Borges deal just epitomises West Ham and where we are.
It shouldn't have, like, we shouldn't be losing a 19-year-old, I think he is, at £14 million. Like, we shouldn't. At the end of the day, right, West Ham should have at least got that deal done. The only thing I don't like about the whole situation is the lies, right? When people are lying and saying basically, he's on holiday, or he's like he can't do it because he's away, or some crap, and then all of a sudden Ajax go bang, get it done, 24 hours, the deal's complete. Like people are lying for their teeth for some reason. Yeah, that falls on Moyes for me. Sorry, that falls on Sullivan for me. Yeah, because Sullivan's not gone with the agent's fees, and he's just lost the deal altogether. Do you know what I'm saying? People are going to look at it and go, well, he wouldn't have played. He would have been on the bench, or he wouldn't, like, whatever. It would have been a signing. Like, it would have given us a bit of positivity. At this rate, we've got fucking none. Do you know what I'm saying?
But how
Online,
is he? I want to know how he's got so far down the line
yeah.
with it, like for 2 weeks now, or however long it's been. And then Moyes has turned around and he apparently didn't want him anyway. So what deal exactly did they have in place for 2 weeks?
I know, mate.
Like,
I know.
And this is the continuous mess throughout the club. Like, who the fuck's talking 21? So you've got David Sullivan's gone and wrapped up a deal, and then David Moyes is sitting there going, well, I don't want him. Like, where?
It is mad. West Ham Online. Borges. What are you saying?
I was annoyed about that one. I thought, as he just said, I think, what's your name? Sorry, I don't know.
Sam.
Sam. I think Sam speaks brilliantly. I think what he said, I completely agree with. From what I hear, he's a great young talent. And let's be honest, exactly what Sam said. We seem to have a deal wrapped up. Even X is a bit pessimistic when it comes to deals getting over the line, and he even seemed like he thought it was done. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Ajax want him. We didn't want to pay the agent fee anyway. And then, of course, West Ham football, the clowns being the absolute clowns, West Ham football delivered the final dagger that Moyes didn't want him anyway. So I know they're just trying to defend their boss, David Sullivan, but why the hell did we even go in for him if Moyes didn't want him anyway? And why weren't we going to pay the agent fee? I mean, I don't know.
I'm going to say this, yeah. Anyone who compares the two, there is no comparison, really. Sullivan has done so much fucking damage to this club over the years. He's lost us deals. He's lost us fucking players. He's fucked about. He's got us relegated in moments, right? And he's just been an absolute cunt. That's coming from me. Anyone who defends Sullivan, right? I'm going to be real, yeah? Because I'm going to say this, Sam, yeah? I haven't been to the LS, right? When I left in 2016, Upton Park, I said I will never step foot in that gaff until fucking Sullivan's gone. And I've stuck to my guns all day long.
Why did you say that then, though?
Because the reason being, Sullivan fucking ruined the local community, mate. It was all a blag. He was blagging the local community.
But after Upton Park, like you know what I mean? Unless you see into the future, I genuinely don't think none of us really saw it because like we all know, we were lied to. We were told this was going to happen, that was going to happen, and none of it has happened. So
people, what it was, Sam, yeah, I'll tell you this, right? And I don't even mind saying it. People lost their fucking businesses and their homes and all that,
yeah.
right, all around the East End, yeah. And I know quite a few people around the East End. I don't live in the East End, but I know quite a few people around there. And when you hear one story, you think it's just one story. But when you hear story after story after story of similar occurrences happening to local people, and people end up fucking like possibly like committing suicide, like threats of committing suicide and things like that, because they was fearing they was going to lose their business and their house and fucking everything, yeah, because of that cunt. And what it was the lies that was told, yeah. How he sold them a dream. He sold them a dream to say, come over there, we're going to look after you and this and that. And then people bring up about the fucking bowling pub. Oh, the bowling pub's had a good makeover, but everything else around it's fucking falling apart, right?
You wouldn't know there's a football club.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. And I'll tell you what, one of the lads on his channel, Lucas, I took him down there when he came over from America. We went down to Upton Park, walked around it, and it's fucking heartbreaking, really. Right? You would never know the history of that club, right? That was there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget this. We stood near the Bobby Moore sort of statue with all the boys and all that. And some old timer come up to us and said, all right, lads, right? And we started speaking to him about West Ham and everything. And he turned around and said, I won't go over there. He said, it's because of that man upstairs. That's what he said. That was his words to me. And I was like, I know you feel, mate. Do you know what I mean? Sullivan's a cunt. He's a wrong-un, right? And people need to... Moyes is just the employee at West Ham. That's what people got to understand. David Moyes is an employee who works for West Ham United, but Sullivan is the kingpin at the top of the tree who is the dictator. You know what I mean? And he's just bad fucking news. As soon as he's gone and he's down the fucking A13 and away from the East End of London, right, the better it is for every West Ham fan. Because I can guarantee you, a new owner coming in would not act like David Sullivan. He just wouldn't. He just wouldn't. Right, and I'm saying that with my fucking heart because I haven't been for 7 years because of that cunt. Yeah, and anyone who backs him is just a fucking mug. If I speak on this truth, Alf, why I calm down, bruv. Talk to me. Anything else you want to add before I wrap this up?
What do I want to add? Well, Nottingham Forest are 4-0 down to Rennes, so makes our 3-1 better.
Fair enough. Do you know what I'm saying?
We pretty much discussed everything we need to discuss regarding targets. I think the window so far has been a bit of a meh. I am hearing, I've just got a text from a reliable source, Tay Talks, that a deal is done for Zakaria. So we'll see that one.
Darren Lewis as well reporting that. I think he's quite good.
Yeah, Darren Lewis, Tay Talks, both reporting that Zakaria is set to be done. So hopefully he can come through. But I do agree with what Sam said. I think even if we signed Ward-Prowse or someone like that now, they wouldn't start against Bournemouth because they've not played any pre-season games. And I'm very worried about going to the South Coast going to Bournemouth with Souček and Downs in the same team. I like them both individually, but together I think, wow, we might be in for some trouble here.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Anything else you want to add, Sam, before I wrap this up?
No, we've sort of covered a lot of it there. I think just one thing on Sullivan. I think if start like obviously signings come in and where he's coming from, like I was just alluded to earlier about this agent fee business. It's the way the football game works now, ain't it? Mm. So why are we bringing in, like, as soon as he's one of his agents, that a deal seems to get done. But this is what's annoying me. Like, I know you're a bit of a fan of Kretinsky and all that, and I don't really follow that too much. But who is actually making decisions now at the minute? Because if you're saying Kretinsky's brought in Steindon, then there's just miscommunication. The old way. Do you know what? It's fucking draining. It is. It's just it is.
I will agree on that. Go on, mate.
And I want to go down the ball. I'm buzzing to get back going and all that. Do you know what I mean? I fucking miss it. But in terms of the club and that, I don't think we'll be that bad because all the other boys and that would have settled in now. By the time we get to Bournemouth, the team is good. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all fucking having an issue fit and the rest of it, but one or two.
There's some really poor teams around us. Really poor.
Yeah, one or two signings ain't like it'll give us positivity as fans, but it ain't going to change that team massively. I imagine even if we end up with 4 or 5, there's only going to be 2, maybe 3 who actually go straight into the first 11. So like we ain't in as bad a position as everyone's saying, but the transfer window I think is draining a lot of us and just the mess we're in. Go on, Sam. You said it. You said it earlier as well. Like, this is what in my lifetime. I'm fucking 32. It's the best moment we've ever had as West Ham.
Yeah.
And yet we're in this fucking complete and utter shithole of a mess of a situation. How have they managed to get us in this? It baffles me.
It does. It baffles me and all, mate. I will say this. To round it up for me, something's got to give. All right, and I'm going to say that quite openly, yeah? We need something. We need something to be positive about. Do you know what I'm saying? I understand what people say about Moyes, and I'm with you, right? I don't want Moyes here. But keep looking at Moyes and look further up the tree, up the mountain, because the man at the top of the tree is the man who's employing Moyes, yeah? Now, if you don't like Moyes, I get that. I'm with you, 100%.
I love him.
Right, you do, obviously. but in regards of the future, Sullivan is not the man. And I'll say it quite openly, and I will say it to fucking anyone because he's just bad news all over. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to wrap it up there with that. Right, before I go, please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, check out the membership perks in the membership section. And also, Sam will be back regular on a Monday night with me. So we're going to do a show Monday night, and it's going to be proper. I will say that. Do you know what I mean? Sam's very passionate. I do like Sam. He's a top man, top bloke, and he used to invite me on his podcast many, many times before. And he's just a gentleman, absolute gentleman. He's passionate. He's just passionate, and that's what I want. I want passionate fans on this fucking channel. I don't want people who are just yes men. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, That's it from us. Anyway, I'm going to let you all go. Take care of yourselves and keep the faith, because this is West Ham at the end of the day.
Moyes in. Moyes